I just learned some jazz today, it's true. He just learned some jazz today, and you gon' learn some jazz today, yes you gon' learn.
This is episode 45 of the Irie podcast. Today we're going to talk about essentialism. What's up, Liz? How you doing?
I'm good. I'm ready to talk about this. This is actually a topic that I've been getting requests to do an episode on. I get a lot of questions about essentialism because I talk about the book so much. And I realized I don't really have an episode about it to share with people. So I thought it'd be cool to do one.
Yeah, I don't know anything about the book, so you got to teach me about some stuff and teach the folks about stuff too as well. Guys, by the way, we are trying something different, so let us know if you like the audio. We're trying to record it ourselves, and we're also looking for new producer roles. So if you're local and you know how to edit a podcast, edit clips, and understand social media, we would like to interview you and possibly hire you. We're just trying to figure this whole thing out, so thank you in advance.
Couldn't believe them stories conceived for no reason. Please just go and leave them fake is in season, but not pre them, cause nowadays.
Anyway, Liz, in your own words, what is Essentialism all about? How would you describe the book, and who is it for?
Essentialism is a book by Greg McKeown. I might not be pronouncing his name right, but we'll link to it in the show notes. Essentialism is one of those books that changed my life, similar to the 4-Hour Workweek book. Which, by the way, I remember where I was when I read both of these books.
Yeah.
Have you ever had a book like that changes your life?
Yeah, I feel like a lot of books have.
Really? That's cool.
That I have read.
I just remember reading these books, and obviously sometimes in the moment you don't realize it, but then now looking back, I really realize how it pretty much shaped everything I do. So if you're not familiar, Essentialism is a book about helping you differentiate between what's essential and what is not essential.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of our issues come from confusing the two.
How would you describe what was essential before you read the book, and what is it after? What was
right? So
what was
a
it for you?
common example is when you're growing a business, which when I read this, I was just starting out. And, I remember, okay, so I'm just going to be totally honest. Can I be honest with you today, Vince? Can we be real with each other? So in the blogging world, there's just a lot of type A perfectionist women. And I would either be at a conference or I'd go on a Facebook group, and there would just be all these conversations, or I'd be on a press trip or at a retreat, and there'd be these conversations going on amongst women, and they were just going on and on and on about all the things they were doing in a day, all the different tasks they were checking off their to-do list, and courses they were taking, and programs they were doing, and checklists they were going through. And it just seemed to me like a lot of busy work. And it always made me uncomfortable. But to be clear, it wasn't like anything they said was, oh, Sally, that sounds stupid. It on paper, it sounds great. And it makes all the sense in the world. Oh, yeah, you should be doing that. Yeah. Oh, you did 50 things on a checklist today? You must be successful. You must be going in the right direction. Essentialism really helped me realize that there's a big difference between doing things that are effective versus doing a bunch of things that just keep you busy. So you could look at the end of your day and be like, well, I did 20 things. I must be successful. No, you were just busy.
So how do you know the difference?
Well, let me give you a quote from the book, which I think does a good job of explaining it. The way of the essentialist means living by design, not by default. Instead of making choices reactively, the essentialist deliberately distinguishes the vital few from the trivial many, eliminates the non-essentials, and then removes obstacles so the essential things have clear, smooth passage. In other words, essentialism is a disciplined, systematic approach for determining where our highest point of contribution lies, then making execution of those things almost effortless. And that's the thing, you guys. I'm not lazy. I'm super driven. But I always noticed my way to success looked different than my colleagues because I wasn't really interested in busy work. I wasn't interested in working 20 hours. I have so many friends, Vince, they would wake up at 5 a.m., work till their kids got up, work all day, stay up till 11 at night working. I want to be with my husband at night. I don't want to be up late working. I'm tired. I want to go work out in the middle of the day when my body wants to work out. I don't want to feel guilty for working out. I don't want to feel guilty for going on a trip. I don't want to feel guilty for hanging out with my husband.
Yeah.
But it's hard when you're starting out. You feel like you have to be working all the time.
Mm.
And that was a lot there. So digest that and tell me, A, does that make sense? And B, what do you think about it? Or what questions do you have about it?
I mean, I think for like a lot of people like this is such a busy culture, and I think a lot of them are probably just busy. And I think it's hard for a lot of people to especially in the beginning, to know what's busy work and what's not busy work.
Right.
Right. So I think that's like the first thing. I think that's a cool book. I think a lot of people are trapped in that hustle, 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 hustle till I die. Now, if that's not who you are, I think that's like really affects people, because I think a lot of people who wrote books or who are like voices are people who are like that, and who probably like in the reverse don't like being around their family in a weird way, or probably don't like being around people like that. So they spend their time working. And I think like since they had the first crack of writing books, they made that seem like the norm for all people like them.
So true.
And then like there's people who probably were not like that and don't know what is right for them to be doing. And I guess like maybe the book helps you figure out what you want to be doing.
Yeah. And in fact, so there's a trick to also figuring out that, like if you might not know. And one other big thing that the book taught me was that your most creative, big thoughts that really allow you to push your business to a new level can only take place when you're resting. When you're going through a checklist and you're responding to things and crossing things off your to-do list and checking emails, responding to text messages, responding to your team members, that reactive side of your brain is not able to simultaneously have creative ideas. So you have to find time in your day to unplug, recharge, etc. So two big ways that I do that are travel. So whether it's a road trip or an airline ride, or like, for example, when I'm on an airplane, Vince, I don't buy Wi-Fi. No way. An airplane is one of the few times when no one can contact me and my brain can truly shut off and shut down. For example, you know, as a mom, I know some of you moms listening will relate. You're almost wired to never fully check out because you've got to keep, you know, small humans alive. Well, when I'm on an airplane, I don't have to keep anyone alive. So my brain can finally just calm down enough to have, and then it's like when you're in the shower and you have all your best ideas, or when you are about to fall asleep, suddenly you remember 20 things you need to do.
Yeah.
It's because your brain's finally relaxed enough to have those ideas.
That's an interesting thing, because I would, at first I would argue that like that's not true. I'll be like, no, you can definitely have big ideas around people. But when I think about in those settings, you're definitely not in a work setting. When you had those big ideas when you're around people, you're probably like having a conversation. You're definitely not working. You're not
Totally.
Because I can't. Because I'm not. When I'm focused, I'm not trying to talk to anybody. So there's definitely no thinking about ideas or unplug or what's essential to me. Right? You're just checking off that list.
100%.
I got to do that.
And to your point, we're in that busy hustle culture where I just see so many people just, they wake up and they have they go on Instagram and they post photos of their checklist and their to-do list, and it's almost how they define themselves. And
I think it's like support, right?
Yeah.
They want to be like, am I doing this right? So let me put this out to the world.
Maybe.
Right? Because they're like, wait, this is what you're supposed to do, right? You're supposed to let everybody know how busy you are and how many workouts you do and how much you run. And
that's true, because I definitely do that with the workouts. It keeps me motivated, and I've learned now it motivates a lot of other people. It's more so I think that we've put busyness on a pedestal.
Yeah, I hate being busy.
Same.
That's what stresses me out a lot. Like when I'm like too busy, you know, doing like stuff I don't want to be doing. But as how I kind of went against life was against that. I was always like getting with people doing stuff. More and more and more now, like the new saying, like protect your energy. That's what I'm on now. Like I'm trying to see like, you know, like Tim Ferriss, the 4-hour work week. I'm trying to like the 4-hour people week. People like, okay, who can I fit everything in on a Monday and then Tuesday through West? I don't have this like, cause I think that's what, cause then that's how I have my big ideas when I'm like not doing busy work or around people. You know how it is.
And not
There's,
everybody can take multiple days off in a row like that, but there's ways to do it.
Yeah, like whatever.
Like if you're a
whatever
mom,
your pocket
like I
is.
can never be alone, but there are some ways to put, like you said, pockets. And you could do the same like when you're working in the restaurant. Because same thing, like your restaurant days, that would be harder, but I do think there are little ways you can do it.
Yeah, like if I catch a stretch,
Yeah.
I'll like put headphones in
Exactly.
at the restaurant. so I can like kind of escape a little bit.
Right. Yeah. Because it is, obviously, we understand that not, there are times you have to be busy. But
Yeah,
what I
yeah.
would like to encourage people is, for example, my friend Heidi of Foodie Crush, a popular food blog, she coined the phrase, because it was a pet peeve of hers, of how a lot of women, we busy brag with one another. So it's almost like if you're like, hey, what are you up to today? And you feel compelled to be like, I gotta take Timmy to the gymnastics, and I gotta pick up Sally from dance, and I gotta take someone to horseback riding, and then I gotta go to this meeting, and then I gotta do that. It's like, and then it's like, then the other person now feels compelled to say how busy they are. And then it becomes this weird busy bragging competition. And
Yeah,
I'm just gonna
people-
tell you guys, I have no interest. I wanna brag about how I'm only working 4 hours this week. Like I wanna brag about not being busy.
Yeah.
Is something wrong with me? Because I just think that like
I think that's like the millennial younger people generation of being highly efficient, but also lazy. Right? In the sense of that, and lazy in the terms of how older people might look at us.
yeah,
But it's just like, I don't know, I don't think working till you're 65 is cool anymore.
right.
Right? And so, and what I mean by that is just spending is like not really your whole life, but spending time just working. Because that is so much of your time. So I feel like
100%.
people are way more into traveling and experiences and
That.
enjoying life. And there's like a book that I heard about. I don't know. I'm going to butcher the title, but I think it's like End with Zero. And his whole thing is about that too. He probably derived some stuff from Essentialism. Because he was just like, oh, do you enjoy your life as you do things?
Right.
Or do you wait to enjoy it? Right? Because he was like, so
true.
many people like
people that wait for the weekend.
yeah, people wait for the weekend, or people that like work their ass off and save all their money till they're 80. He's like, well, didn't you miss the time to actually spend your money now? Like you're 80 years old,
Yeah.
like, okay, cool, you have $100 million. So now you're 80, you got 5 years left.
Right.
You're probably too sick, too old to really enjoy it. He's like, it might be smart to 30 and 40s to make a lot of money and spend a lot. Because like that's how you enjoy it, right?
Oh yeah.
And then you can start saving, and with zero.
Right.
Because I talked about trust funds. Like, don't give your kids the money when they're 50. What's the point? Like, the biggest impact they can do with that money is from 20 to
Exactly.
30 or 40, right? And or just even work stuff too. And I was like, only cause I didn't like listen to
No,
his whole
that's okay.
thing.
We'll put that book in the show notes too.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that concept.
So what else is there for
All right, so
essentialism?
here's another quote from the book, and then I'll talk a bit about it. The pursuit of success can be a catalyst for failure. Put another way, success can distract us from focusing on the essential things that produce success in the first place.
I agree that.
I agree with that too. So I think that what happens is that when we become so hyper-focused on, and this is probably way beyond success, but obviously this is a very success business-oriented book and podcast, but I think it probably goes towards a lot of things. But when you get so hyper-focused on it, you miss the point. You miss all the different things. So for example, I believe that's why I'm a successful food blogger, because when I started out, that was not my goal. I wasn't doing it to make a bunch of money. I wasn't doing it to work with big brands. I wasn't doing it to go on big trips. That was never my goal. So the benefit of that is that what I did instead was I focused on what matters. I created high quality content, which in my instance is recipes, and I did it consistently, and I motivate and encourage people to lose weight like I lost weight. So I was just trying to help others live a healthy lifestyle through healthy recipes and, just sharing how I lost the weight. But it was never about success. So what happened is that success naturally came.
Yeah, that's funny because I feel like I'm conflicted about this because I feel like a lot of people say, don't focus on the success. And I think a lot of people probably feel this way, like don't focus on like the success and the money side of things, right? Because it'll never come.
They always say money is never enough of a reason to want something.
Yeah, exactly. And like it'd be harder for you to get it. Or once you get it, it won't be as fulfilling, right?
You know why though? Because when you're focusing on it, you're usually in a way of like, damn, I don't have it yet. I don't have it yet. Oh, I don't have all the money yet. I haven't reached my goal yet. I'm not where I want to be. So all of those are negative thoughts. And by the way, now I'm getting into law of attraction, but when you're thinking about success and you don't have it yet, or if you're thinking about money and you don't have it yet, that's negative energy you're putting out. Even though you don't realize it, it's subconscious. But it's in general, it's a thought of lack. Oh, I don't have that. I don't have this. By wanting what you don't have, you're putting out into the universe a message of lack.
Yeah, I agree with that. And then also like with wins and winning a lot, the worst thing to spend your time doing, in my opinion, is like a mediocre win.
Oh, yeah.
Because that sucks up all your time and gives you like mediocre results. And I feel like you don't learn in that mediocre stuff, right?
Really?
I don't think so because like it's not really a failure and it's not a huge win. So what did you learn?
Well, I think what you
You're just-
learned is to be happy along the way because not every win's going to be a big win.
Yeah, but I think like in like business or whatever you're trying to do, like let's say it's like mediocre. I feel like a lot of people like spend their time doing things like that and they're in it.
Yeah.
Right. And that's like, I guess people say like working in your business and on your business. If you want to grow it or you want to like, according to like how I kind of took that quote was like, yeah, I feel like what are you learning in the middle? Nothing. I feel like
Interesting.
there's nothing that's really standing out because everything doesn't work kind of or works kind of.
Yeah.
Right. So like, I rather like do something that completely didn't work.
Yeah.
Learned a lot there and then do something that did work and be
Right.
like, learned a lot there.
Right.
And then like, is it true or is it not true?
That's a good one because another one is a popular idea in Silicon Valley is, quote, done is better than perfect. And that's what I've always talked about with my B+ mentality. I'm a big fan of completion and closing loops and doing things. And we've talked about this so many times, I won't get into it too much, but the reason why that's good is that I think a lot of people, perfectionism is really just a blanket for fear, and people are afraid of how others will perceive them. And here's the thing, guys, no one's paying that much attention to you. For example, if we have a mistake on one of these podcasts, well, it's okay. Maybe a handful of people will notice. I'm pretty confident they won't forever judge us. And
Yeah.
if they do, then they're not our audience.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, again, we're not performing cancer surgery. No one is paying that much attention. So I think perfectionism is just a tool people use to avoid taking risks.
I agree.
And so I just encourage you guys to do it. Start it. Put it out there. Keep going. Do it again. I think what happens too, and this is kind of like weight loss, is that once you're in a flow state, it's easier to stay on it. So for example, once you complete something, you get the momentum of that win. And then you do another win and another win. And to Vince's point, you get better over time. And obviously we always want them to be the good wins, not the mediocre wins. But a bunch of mediocre wins is way better than not doing anything.
Oh, let me explain it like this, because I agree with this. You learn a lot from working out once and then working out again. Then and you also learn a lot by always working out on a consistent schedule. But if you work out twice a month, trying to get healthy, what are you really learning? What are you
Right.
really,
Oh,
nothing.
yeah.
That's what I'm saying. That mediocre,
Yeah.
like, is it even like worth
Yeah.
it at that point? Like, you gotta make a decision, you know. But I do like, on the working out side of thing, like with your health, like I much rather you work out twice a month than never.
Or 10 minutes a day versus nothing.
And I think that like goes back to like starting small with stuff. I feel like, especially me, like I struggled with like wanted the big picture perfect thing first, right?
So what happens when you don't have that happening yet? You're
Well,
pissed.
either you get upset or you don't do it. So you have to learn like where you can start off small at, and then
Build on that small win.
build on that small win. So I agree with that.
Yeah, I
Start
agree.
small.
Okay, ready for another quote? Okay. Essentialists see trade-offs as an inherent part of life, not as an inherently negative part of life. Instead of asking, what do I have to give up? They ask, what do I want to go big on?
I like this mindset.
I knew you would, Vince. You guys, Vince hasn't read this book. So low-key, this episode was just to convince him that he needs to. This book literally changed my life.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of good stuff here.
What do you think about that quote? Instead of saying, what do I have to give up? They say, what do I want to go big on? Trade-offs aren't a bad thing. It's inherently part of life.
Yeah, I have my own quote too. Like, I think I say like people worry too much what they're going to lose, not what they're going to gain. And that's what we base a lot of our decisions off of. I see like a lot of people like, ooh, you ask them about a decision, they talk about everything they're going to lose, not what they're going to gain
Right.
in the new decision. And I'm human too, like we all do it. But I like to like think what I'm gaining from what I'm doing. Which is can be good and can be bad. Because
Right.
sometimes it's like, fuck it, I'm not getting anything from this.
Yeah.
You know? And you have to make that call. But like a lot of times I think it helps with decision making or what you're about to do instead of like, to the quote's point, always focusing on what are you losing? Like, drop a bag to get a bag. You know what I'm saying? Like,
You tell me that all the time.
like, don't be afraid to jump,
Yeah.
take risks. You know, don't make decisions out of fear.
Yeah, I need to work on that.
So do I. We all do it. I think it's just the natural human flight
Yeah.
or fight kind of thing, and it happens in all aspects. I don't think anyone has mastered it. Probably people who read this Essentialism though have. You know, have learned the tools to like be better at it. 'Cause I think this relates to a lot of people.
I agree. Okay, so here's another good one. We overvalue non-essentials like a nicer car or house, or even intangibles like the number of followers on Twitter or the way we look in our Facebook photos. As a result, we neglect activities that are truly essential, like spending time with our loved ones, or nurturing our spirit, or taking care of our health. So I'm going to talk about that, because that's definitely how I have. This book is definitely why I've shaped my life the way I've shaped it. So, you know, for example, I put my workouts in my calendar before I make appointments with clients or meetings with team members or anything else. I make sure that that workout is in there first, because I know that my body needs that, my brain needs it. And I don't look at that workout, just like I don't look at a vacation as a waste or putting me behind. Those workouts, because so for me, Vince, I can't do like Tuesday through Thursday, chill out, not see people. So for me, like sometimes that 30-minute workout is my time. And that might be my only time that day to myself. That's just the nature of being a mom and all that. So, but I will tell you guys, even that 30-minute workout, if you have it every day, will do you a lot of good. I'm not talking about weight loss here. I'm talking about mental space to have big thoughts.
Yeah, because that Tuesday, Thursday, like, I don't get that at all. That's like the goal, right?
Probably do little pockets also, like you worked out today.
Yeah, I do my little pockets for sure, or you go crazy. But yeah, I agree with that. I think find those little moments to kind of like get away and escape and think and clear your head.
Yeah, because when you're working out, like you're not checking your phone, you're not answering phone calls. You're also, I know like for me when I work out, my workouts are a distraction because I'm trying to finish the workout. I'm trying not to die. I'm trying to get, so like my brain can't go to that. It's similar to how meditation works, but meditation's not my jam. So it's more for me like, if I'm working out, my brain is kept busy with the workout, which is great because that way it's not doing the other side of the brain of, first of all, worrying about things that don't matter, but then also it's almost like a passive thought where I'm able, the creative ideas can still freely flow in and out.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense.
Right? Whereas like if I'm in a phone call with a client, obviously I can't be doing that. I have to be
100%.
focused, listen to it. Yeah.
I think just getting healthy is better for like, so for example, like I work in a restaurant, so, I'm 23 and like.
Soon to be 24 by the time of this.
Yeah, almost 24. And like working in a restaurant has completely destroyed my body. One, like kickstarting on like, like if I want to like live and be healthy, like what's the point of like working so hard and just like destroying your body, right? Like you have to make sure that like you're working hard, yes, and smart too, but also like working hard and making sure you're healthy. And I think that's why we see a lot of quote unquote older people always working out, right? From a young person's perspective. Mm-hmm. Is because like you're not gonna be young forever. So like if you're like treating your body how you always treated it since you've been 14, you can't be doing that. You can't like be putting your body through the ringer and expect to be killing things.
Correct.
Because your body doesn't.
And if you don't take care of your body, you're probably not going to take good care of your team members, your employees, your staff. You know what I'm saying? Like
how you do one thing is how you do everything.
Right. Okay. So speaking of Vince, getting real deep, I should quote that for our Instagram page. Guys, if you don't follow us on Instagram, @Irie.lemon, we share some great content on there, including fire quotes like that one. Yeah. So that leads me to another quote from the book that I think you're going to appreciate. Sleep will enhance your ability to explore, make connections, and do less but better throughout your waking hours.
You got to explain that.
All right. So a lot of people, busy entrepreneurs, workaholics, I'm sure it's like many different people, they undervalue sleep. So they might think, I'm just going to stay up one more hour and get out another proposal, or stay up one more hour and bang out this other project, or Stay up one more hour and edit these photos. You guys, you're misunderstanding how essential sleep is for you. When you sleep, you're literally recharging and resetting your brain and your physical body. And when you're reset the next day, you're going to be much better able to get through your checklist. You'll be more awake for a workout. Because if you wake up tired, it's a domino effect. So you might, I'm so tired, I just need some carbs. I'm going to get a breakfast sandwich. Or, I'm too tired, forget the workout, I just can't even stay awake. It's a domino effect. If you have a crappy breakfast, like, well, the day's a waste, I'm just going to go get some fast food for lunch. And you just kind of like, whereas if you get a good night's rest, you wake up with energy, you're more inclined to work out. If you have a workout, you're not going to ruin it, so you have a healthy breakfast. And then by that point, you're on a roll, you're crushing it, you have energy at your meetings, and then your day's going so well, you're going to have a healthy lunch, and you're just not going to waste it. It's a domino effect.
What if someone wants to sleep instead of working out, though?
Why do you have to pick? It's 24 hours in the day. Sleep 8 hours, then work out.
So let's see. Yeah. So
Anyone that can sleep as long as they want has time to work out.
you're here first on High
Is that not
11.
true?
You heard it here first on High 11 podcast.
Vince, are you
We're like-
speaking from personal?
Yeah, you kind of attacked me there a little bit. There's definitely
Have there been times when you've wanted to?
Yeah, but I
But
work
if-
though.
on the days that
I
you-
work though, so
No, but listen, on the days that you can sleep in,
I
those
can't
are also
sleep.
the days you can work out.
Yeah,
Right?
I agree.
And obviously, there's tons of people listening that wake up at 5 a.m. to work out.
And there's some people that wake up at 1 p.m. to start their day. Yeah, that's right. I'm talking to you. 1 p.m.er.
I don't think I know anyone that's.
Oh, there's people that probably say they wake up early, but they really don't.
That's funny.
Know how to tell someone wakes up early?
Oh.
Text them in the morning.
Oh, yeah. You guys,
So-
Vince never texts me back first thing in the morning.
Yeah, I have a rule where I don't answer anybody till like I'm done doing my shit.
No, it's smart.
Yeah.
Sometimes I have to bang out work before I take the kids to school. Like, almost like,
But you call me, I'll always answer. But that's how I know it's an emergency. People text me though, fuck,
Yeah.
you might get a text back tomorrow.
I know.
That's how I am though. I'm like a horrible communicator though. I'm trying to work on it. I just feel like I'm in the wrong generation. I need to skip ahead to the telecommunication generation where you can read my mind. That one.
I don't know if I want to read that much.
It's pretty simple. It's like make money. Jerk chicken.
And he's like, pizza, I know.
Very simple. Like
I literally was like,
very
ice cream.
very simple and very focused.
Fried chicken. Grilled cheese.
That person walks weird. You know, I
Guys,
was
by
like,
the way, if you're listening to this, Vince just had a birthday. Give him a little shout out. Wish him a happy birthday.
yeah, thank you guys.
I love birthdays. Okay, I have another quote. Sometimes what you don't do is just as important as what you do.
Talk about it. What does that mean? Hey, say
Again.
the quote one more time and slowly, please.
Sometimes what you don't do is just as important as what you do.
Okay.
So I'll give you an example. If you have 2 ways to spend your day. Option 1, you sit at your desk for 12 hours banging out a checklist of tasks.
You really hate these checklists with tasks,
I do.
don't
You guys, I'm not.
Hey, listen, for the checklist and task people, I'm here to defend you, okay? It's okay if you have one and you need one to get one done.
And
They
you
keep
guys,
going,
if
though.
you know me, like, clearly I've got checklists. Obviously, it's not like I don't. I use many. I mean, you
It's
know.
okay. You don't like people with checklists.
It's just like, it's the example in the book. So,
The
again,
overly type A
the
people.
overly, like the
You know who
person
you
that
are.
writes down the thing they already did just so they can cross off. Just kidding. I really don't mind that. Like, if that's a way to
That
motivate
annoys
you,
me. I'll be honest.
low
I'll
key,
be honest one
it
here.
bugs the F out of me, but I get it if that motivates you. That's actually not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is, so for example, Vince, something that I really prioritize is time with my friends socially. Other people might think, why would I go to lunch with a friend in the middle of a workday? I could do another proposal. I could send another email. I could pitch another brand. I could do this. I could do that.
And that's okay if they want to be doing that? Is that, are you saying that they shouldn't be doing that?
No, you're missing it. And this is why, again, it's hard to paraphrase a book in a 40-minute podcast. But the book explains that 1 hour of lunch with your friend is so vital that's going to end up making those checklist items null, because you're naturally going to have this positive vibration that will attract all the business that you were trying to send 20 cold emails out to get. But if you're so burnt out because you don't have a balance in your life, you're not going to attract clients. You're not going to attract success. You're not going to attract money.
Yeah, because you burnt out.
You're just putting out this energy that you're burnt out, you're stressed out, you're impatient, you're angry, you're resentful, whatever that negative emotion is. Whereas what I've done is I exercise at 9, 10 a.m. Most people would have meetings at that time. I don't book meetings at that time. I actually did today because I had a very important new client. But I worked out before that. A lot of people would say, forget the workout, it's not important. Or, oh, blah, blah, blah. I realize now that, again, this is back to the quote, what you don't do is just as important as what you do. Not filling up my mornings with a million meetings is super important. And even though on paper it looks like Liz is not lazy, but like Liz is working out at 9 a.m., shouldn't she be in meetings and working on our blog and da-da-da-da-da? But that workout gives me, like we had some issues come up this morning, so I knew I had to go work out to like blow some steam off, and guess what? I did. I came back, I felt better, it went away, and I think just people in general, we over-prioritize staying busy.
Yeah. I think that's that's so true for a lot of people. Always doing something.
Right, and it's almost like I want to encourage people to brag about the things you're busy doing that don't look like busy work. Lunch with a friend, having a mimosa. Oh, look, my mic just fell.
We tried.
But you guys, I want you to
Let's quit.
if you work out at 11 a.m., brag about it. If you are meeting a friend on a Tuesday, brag about that. No one really wants to, first of all, no one wants to hear about someone bragging about 20 meetings.
I agree with this too, because I hate talking about what I'm doing.
You never do, and that's probably why I love being your friend.
I hate when people, I just don't that doesn't matter to me.
Yeah, but a lot of people, Vince, they almost like their worth is almost like if you don't explain how busy you are, then people will look down on you.
Yeah, I don't play that game with a lot of people. They're like, I'm like, why don't I spend 15 minutes explaining
Exactly.
what I have to do today?
Correct.
I'd rather just do it. Thank you. I don't want to think about it.
Yeah. No, obviously, because Vince is for sure. Because I'll be like, oh, what are you up to today? Sometimes it's just some basic small talk conversation. But like, for example, it's hard for me
to get into small talk, guys.
No, I know.
It's so hard for me. I don't know why. I just have a
we
mental
really
block.
never have any small talk. But the great thing though is Vince is the person I could call and get right into something really big. We don't have to warm up the conversation.
No, please don't warm the conversation with me. Let's just get to the main issue. Thank you. Mind you, I think I am the epicenter for a lot of people call me for shit.
Yeah.
And so
you want to get right to it.
I think a lot of people small talk to make the other person feel secure. I'm not just calling you for this problem,
Oh, I didn't think about it that way.
I've had people do that subconsciously. I'm like, bro, please don't tell me about your day, your dog, anything else that has nothing to do with me that I really don't care about. You know who I am.
Well, sometimes
some people I have ran into don't like that. They want you to ask them how they're doing, what their day is before you hop in, because they might think that
Guys, Vince asked how a vacation was 3 weeks after I got back.
Yeah,
and I thought he was kidding because he's never asked how my day was, how a trip was, how an event was.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad it's good because you would tell me it was bad.
I was like, what? I've been home for 3 weeks.
But I really thought you got back that Sunday though.
That's funny.
But that just shows you that I'm really in a sense.
You don't busy brag, that's for damn sure. I feel like the people that busy brag though are the least busy.
That's what I'm saying,
If
bro.
you have time to make a graphic for Insta stories about how busy you are, you're probably not that busy.
That's what I'm saying. How?
All right, let's get to another quote.
I just assume they're always busier than me, more efficient than I am.
All right, this is my last quote from the book. If it isn't a clear yes, then it's a clear no.
Explain that.
I'm going to explain it and how that rule of thumb has helped my life. So as an entrepreneur starting out, when you don't have a set paycheck, you get kind of, in a way, afraid to say no. And I am a type 2 Enneagram people pleaser, so saying no to people and friends and family is hard for me because I will put whatever I want.
It is the hardest thing to do.
It is. And, a type 2, we value ourselves on how helpful we are to others, so we will put our needs on the shelf to take care of everybody else's needs first. So between both my personality type and I'm sure I know a lot of people say it's a female thing, it's a maternal mother thing. And as an entrepreneur that doesn't have a set paycheck, often we've quit jobs with salaries, so we want to say yes to make sure we can pay our bills.
Yeah.
So saying no takes a lot of work and practice. It did for me anyways. And what has helped me, and I think this also is from law of attraction as well, but I really try to listen to my intuition and to the vibrations in my body when responding to things. And for example, if saying yes involves lying, then you're now people pleasing. And that's not good. That's not healthy.
Yeah.
Like I was listening to a podcast recently about unconditional love versus people pleasing and how they look very differently.
Yeah.
So unconditional love is when someone asks you something and you tell them the truth and you love them regardless of how they respond. Versus people pleasing is you say what they want to hear and then you get that quick high off of making them happy, but then you're pissed off and resentful for the rest of like the week. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I agree with that.
Like if you have a mother that just wants to do pop-ins all the time, but you don't want your mother to stop in all the time, but you don't want to tell her because you love her and you don't want to hurt her feelings, well, that's people pleasing. Whereas if you set clear boundaries like, Mom, I don't want you coming over every day. Please call before you come over. That's setting healthy boundaries. And you love them regardless of how they respond to that. So again, if it involves lying, that's not unconditional love. That's people pleasing.
Yeah, I agree. I think saying no is so hard for a lot of things. It takes me to be in a certain mood to be like instantly no, or like I completely don't get it. If it doesn't make sense to me, I can say no, or if I'm in a bad mood, I can say no. But other than that, I'm always saying yes. And that's actually powerful because like I think I've been such a people pleaser my whole life that like sometimes you might lose the you should be doing versus what you should be doing, right?
Yeah, it's about living your life by design, not by how others have designed your life for you.
Exactly. Create your own box. I've been working really hard on that personally. It's a struggle because a whole new way of thinking. Like I had to say be more selfish because I think that's the only way to say it that actually can cut through all the feelings. Because I feel like if you don't say it like that, like there's another excuse why that your mom can pop in. Mm-hmm. Oh, it's my mom. Right. I'm not gonna tell my mom that. So then like, okay, well at a certain point, like if you're not going to be like, yo, this is not good for me. Like that's the truth, right? Then like you're just gonna be stuck in that loop, and then the reverse is gonna happen. Like you're gonna become more resentful on the other end, not the other person, and they're gonna be like, "What's your issue? I thought it was okay." Right. So I think, and
this is where open communication and being kind and with your words and holding space for their reaction is a really good thing to do for, especially like a mother, someone you love unconditionally. It doesn't mean you have to lie or change your stance. But there is a way to do it in a caring way for someone you care about that it's not hurtful. And obviously, you don't have to do that for people you don't care about. But obviously, there's a way, I guess, what's made it easier for me is I've learned how to say no.
And I think it will help you stop being so busy and focus on the essential things. Like how I tied that back in, like how I closed that loop.
Look at you.
I didn't read the book, but it sounded like I did. It was crazy.
It's like we're back in school.
One thing I was really good at school was comprehension.
And taking credit for other people's work. So guys, thanks so much for...
Never. People take credit for my work.
I really recommend this book to all of you. It's, for me especially, it just really helped me not feel guilty for spending my time in ways that really refilled my cup. And I know that because of that, I've now attracted much more success in my life, which was what most people are striving for to begin with. So just pay close attention to what you do throughout the day and really, like, even make a list of how you spend your entire day. And is it essential or not essential?
Deep.
Right. But guys, guess what? This podcast is super essential for us. So we really hope that you've been enjoying these episodes. If you have, we'd love it if you would give us a review on iTunes. We think we deserve 5 stars. What do you think, Vince?
At least 5.
I mean, if there's an option for 6, we'll take it.
Yeah, maybe 7.
Please, if you enjoyed this episode, if there's someone that you know that would benefit from this, text it to them. We'd love to help get the word out to more people. Again, this was a requested topic about how I live an essentialism lifestyle. So I hope this was helpful. Let us know. We love your feedback. Please let us know if you have any upcoming topics you'd like us to cover.
I want to see more story shares of us. You guys listen to the podcast, please and thank you.
Right, because I know you guys are listening. I noticed our listens are up since we started talking about food, guys. So we have more foodie episodes coming, by the way.
Yeah, we do.
So thank you so much for everything. And last but not least, if you haven't, be sure to subscribe to the podcast so you don't miss our new episodes coming out. We are so grateful for you here, and we hope you're doing well. Take care.
Bye-bye.
some jazz. Yes, sir.